Hello, everyone. In the previous session, we have taken you through the demo of Zoho Payroll, the Saudi Arabia edition. In that, we covered how to set up the organization, how to process the payroll, and how you can generate pay slips and reports for the month. So, in this session, we will deep dive into Zoho Payroll and we will cover certain use cases. So, the agenda for today's session would be, the mid-month entries and the exits of the organization, how we can manage, and the leave and attendance management, the integration with HRMS, accounting and expense management, and how we can have bonus, overtime, and other earnings and deductions created, and how we can process pay revisions and arrear calculations in case of backdated revisions, and how we can create custom workflows, custom notifications via automation. So these kind of scenarios we will be covering in today's session. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone, the product screen. So first we will see mid-month joining cases. So let's say if an employee is joining in the mid of the month, let's say 15th of the month. So in that case, system should prorate the salaries, right? So if you add that employee in Zoho People, so you are a Zoho One customer, so you might be using Zoho People already. And when you add the employees there, the master details will get synced automatically to Zoho Payroll. And along with that, the attendance data for the month will also be synced from Zoho People to payroll. So let's say if you're adding a new employee in Zoho People and you are syncing them to Zoho Payroll, so when you go to the employees module, you'll be able to see their details. In that, as you can see, the date of joining is 16th May. So I have added this employee on 16th May. So it is showing the date of joining as such. And when you go to the basic detail edit section, you'll get two options: either whether to pay as arrears in the upcoming payment, that is these 15 days salary for the rest of the month, right? Whether you want to club it with the next month payroll, or whether you would like to pay whatever the amount for this month, the prorated amount to be paid out in the current month, you can choose. So when you add that employee to the payroll process, so when you create a payroll for the month, all the active employees will be included in the payroll. So if you have included the new joiners also in the current month payroll, so their details also you can see. So as you can see, this is the employee that I have added mid-month. And for them, you can see the payable days is showing as 16 according to the, the whatever the days remaining for the month. And the components also got prorated according to their actual payable days. So this is how you can manage mid-month joining. And to process exits, so in a month there will be some employees who might be resigning, or you might process a termination for an employee, or there might be end of contract scenarios. So in that case, you'll be initiating exit process for them, right? To initiate an exit in Zoho People, you will have the option to mention the date of separation, that is their last working day. So once you do that in Zoho Payroll, a final settlement payroll will be initiated for them. Whereas you would be able to select the last working day will be synced automatically from Zoho People, and you can choose a reason for exit, whether it is resigned or termination or end of contract, and then you can choose a final settlement date. So here, as per the Saudi labor laws, we have limited the system in the system to choose only days. 14 days after the last working day. So which means you should pay the employee, that is process the full and final settlement within 2 weeks. So that limitation we have incorporated in our system. And you can add a personal email address to which their full and final settlement payslip has to be sent to, and you can click on proceed. So which will take you to the next page, that is the edit section of the final settlement payroll, where you can do the required edits. So for example, you might not pay for the entire days they worked in that month, so you are prorating their payable days. So in that case, you can add loss of pay for them. And if you would like to add the leave balances that are pending for the employee, so that you would like to encash it in the final settlement payroll, so we have formula based components in Zoho Payroll application. So you can set up a formula and you can give the input as number of days. For example, 10 days of leaves are pending for the employee, so you input the days and system will do the calculation for you. Likewise, in the final settlement payroll, you want to add some overtime hours that the employer worked for that particular month, so that data can also be added. So based on the formula that has been set, system will calculate the amount for you. And apart from these, any one-time earnings you would like to add to an employee, for example, a bonus to be provided, or a to be added, or any other one-time earning to be added to the employee, the final settlement create those components in Zoho payroll settings section under salary components. So if the components are active, it will be visible to you here. So you can directly add the flat amount and you can add it in their final settlement payroll. And the gratuity part will be auto calculated by the system. So in our system, we will consider the number of years of service of the employees and the type of exit and the type of contract they are on. So based on these criteria, system will do the gratuity calculation. And if you'd like to see how it is calculated, you can click on this button that will show you the gratuity calculation. And it is an editable field. So if you'd like to edit the gratuity amount, you can do the required edits. And in some organization, they might deduct the unpaid leaves from their total days of service. So in that case, you can add the unpaid leaves and system will prorate the payable days accordingly and gratuity calculation will be done. So once you have added these details and any other one-time deductions to be added as part of the employee final settlement, you can click on the add deduction and you can add those as well. And if any employee owes notice pay, that is, they need to pay you certain amount because they're not serving the notice period. So in that case, you can receive the notice pay amount from the employee. So you can add the amount and that will get deducted from their final settlement payroll. So once you have done the required edits in the final settlement, you can click on save and continue. That will take you to the next page. That is the draft section of the final settlement payroll, where you can see the complete pay summary, the final settlement summary of the employee. And you can see the total payroll cost, total net pay, what is the payday according to your organization, and the other one-time earnings, deductions, the gratuity, system calculated one, all that will be appearing in the final settlement payroll draft. Once after you reviewed this, you can fetch the data from Zoho People. So in Zoho People, if you have leave encashments and so whatever process is shown you manually now, that is leave encashment days to be synced or the overtime hours to be synced or the LOP to be synced, you can use this fetch data button and get that data from Zoho People. So those things will be automated. So once that is covered, you will be approving the payroll for the month. Once you submit and approve, you can see the payroll status changing from draft status. So now it is in approved status. So this is where you will get the wage file to download. So wage file will be required by you to make payments through WPS, right? So that wage file, we will generate it for you. So you can select the establishment ID and which bank account from which you are going to pay the employee and what is this employee's work location, the debit date. So all these you can mention and you can download the wage file in a CSV or text or Excel file as per your requirement. And then once after you complete the payment for the employee, you'll be clicking on this record payment button and you'll be sending out their final settlement pay slip to their personal email address. Because once the exit process is initiated, they will lose access to their self-service portal because they are no longer a part of your organization, right? So that reason the work email ID will be deactivated. So for that purpose, we are disabling the portal access from our side as well. So the final settlement pay slip will be sent to their personal email ID. And this is how you'll be processing a final settlement payroll. And there might be cases in your organization, multiple employees will be exiting. For example, 2 or 3 employees will be exiting and you want to process their exit in bulk. So for that, we have a bulk final settlement feature as well, so that you can add all the exited employees and you can process the final settlement payroll at once. So this is a final settlement scenario. And next, we proceed with salary revisions. So when you would like to increase the salary of an employee or adjust the salary components, you will be creating a salary revision. So to create a salary revision, you will be coming to the employees module. And if you'd like to do it one by one, you will be selecting the required employee and there'll be salary details section where you can click on the revise button and you can adjust the required components or add new components or adjust their values. Or if you have created already a predefined salary template, you can associate the new template to the employee. And once that is done, you can choose the effective and payout month. So there might be scenarios you'll be doing backdated revisions, which means the payout, the salary revision should be effective from April, let's say, but the payout month is June. So in that case, when the June month payroll is processed, the new revised salary will be paid out to the employees. Along with that, the April and May month arrears will also be calculated by the system and it will be paid along with the June month salary in the regular payroll. So we do have backdated revisions. But in cases if you are going to revise a salary in the same month and pay out in the same month, so in that case you can choose both as the current month, May and May, for example. the current month. Okay. And for salary revisions, we do have maker and checker process. So when you go to the revisions approval, you will see the list of salary revisions that has been created. So you can, either select one by one, or you can click on the checkbox here and select all the employees and approve or reject the salary revisions accordingly. So only after this approval, the salary revision will be considered for the employee. And you'd be also able to send salary revision letters to your employees from here. And if you'd like to do salary revisions for multiple employees at the same time, we got you covered. So we have a import data option here. So wherein you can find a employee salary revision file. So for each import files, we will give you sample formats as well in CSV or Excel. So you can download a sample format, and you'll be able to add the data in it. This is a sample, salary revision file. Here, you'll be adding the employee number, choosing effective on payout month, and what are the changes going to happen. And if you're going to add additional components or remove some components, you can do the changes in a single file and you can upload it. Then it will go to the revisions module, approval module, where the users who have access to this module can do it. So the main concept for this is that, in your organization, you might have many users managing your organization. So some of the user, for example, payroll staff, their role is to add the salary details and create salary revisions, but not process or approve the payroll. So then you will have another, main admin who will be reviewing it and then processing the payroll. So if you have that kind of maker and checker process, you can very well use this revision approval module, so that you can see the list of revisions created, do the required edits, and you can approve it. So this is how you can create salary revisions. And as I mentioned, in case of backdated revision, system will calculate the arrear for you. Let me show you an example. So for this employee, I've created a salary revision with the backdated month and the payout as the current month. So the arrears from the previous month has been calculated and has been added with the current month salary. Okay. So this is how salary revisions and arrear calculations will be done in the system. And arrears will also happen in one more case, that is in case of loss of pay. So let's say if you have applied LOP by mistake and you want to rectify it in the current month payroll. So in that case, you can make use of the adjust LOP option available here, adjust past LOP. So you can choose the month in which you have applied LOP, and you can choose the reversal option, and you can enter the number of days and proceed. So system will calculate the arrears for it. Okay, so this is with regards to the pay revisions and arrear calculations in Zoho Payroll. Next, we move to the concepts of bonus, overtime, and one-time earnings and deductions. So to create any components, you'll be going to the salary component section, and this is like a master details page for the salary components. So you'll be able to choose what are the components that are required for your organization and mark it as active with the required configurations. So here, let's say you would need a bonus component. So you'll click on this add component button, select earning, and you will be able to see the list of all the available earning components in Zoho Payroll. So you'll choose a bonus component here, and you can give the name as per your requirement. For example, it is a joining bonus, let's say. So you can give the earning name and name in pay slip as per your requirement. And for bonus type components, we have a concept called scheduled earning. So that you can mention the month in which the amount has to be paid out. That is, the bonus amount has to be paid out. For example, you are providing an annual bonus, let's say. So let me show that with a live example. So let's say for this particular employee, I'm going to add a scheduled earning. So you can select a scheduled earning, or you can create a new one. For example, it is a bonus I'm creating, and for reference, I'm giving it as ad hoc bonus, and name in payslip can be bonus. And then you can choose how much amount to be added to the employee and in which month payout it should be added. I'm choosing November here. So you can see that the system has added to their salary details. So when the November month payroll gets processed, this amount will be added to the employees. The same thing you can do for add travel allowances as well. So under settings, you can create add travel allowance and make it as active, or you can choose this add component here, select add travel allowance, and you can select the component which I've already created, or you can newly create it as well. So I've created it already, so it is visible here. So for this employee, let's say I'm assigning 3,000 as an add travel allowance, and it also to be paid out in the month of November. So I'll define it and save. So when the November month payroll gets processed, that amount will get added. So by this way, I can add scheduled bonuses and add travel allowances to be paid out in the the respective payout month, so that you need not keep remembering it when to add this amount, or be cautious to add the bonus amount. So once you have defined it in the system will add it for you when that month payroll gets processed. And any other one-time earnings you would like to add, you can go to the salary components and you will find add component button here, select earning, and you can activate it. And we do offer components, overtime allowance, leave encashment components that can be enabled with a custom formula. So for example, overtime allowance, you're activating it. By default, we will give you the regular calculation that is applicable as per UAE laws. But if you want to create additional overtime component, you can select the component. You can create a duplicate component with the required name and name in payslip, and you can choose a custom formula. And here you can define whether it has to be calculated on per day basic or per hour basic amount in a number of hours, or it should be based on gross amount in a number of hours. So you can define it. Then you can give a name towards it, and you can save the particular component. And in addition to all of this, if you want to create custom allowances also, that is possible. So under earning, you'll find this new custom allowance option where you can create a new component, a fixed pay or variable pay component of your requirement. So let's say it's a sign-on bonus that you need to create. So you can give the required earning name and the name in payslip, and you can choose a pay type as variable pay since it is a bonus, and you can choose whether it is a flat amount that you'll be adding or it should be calculated on certain custom formula. In the same case, if you want to create a fixed pay component also, you can do it in this custom allowance component. So this is how you'll be activating the one-time earnings and the variable pay components in Zoho Payroll. And apart from this, we do have deduction components. So deductions in the case, if you want to add like a one-time deduction, for example, fine to be added if the employees are using company vehicles and there is a traffic fine, and for that you need to deduct the amount from the employee salary. So you can create a one-time deduction called fine, and you can activate it and associate it in the required month payroll. Or if it is a recurring deduction, for example, you have provided gadget to your employees, and for that you need to collect certain amount for 5 months or 6 months, let's say. So in that case, you can create it as a recurring deduction and mark it as active, and you can associate with your employees. So all the one-time earnings and deductions, you can add it in the required month payroll. All the recurring things or the scheduled things, you'll be adding it in the employees module. So in the employees module, there is salary details section, right? So you can see this add button where you can get scheduled earnings, recurring deductions, or any benefits that you're going to associate like medical insurance, so and so, so that you can activate in this salary details section. And if you would like to add these recurring deductions or benefits or scheduled earnings for multiple employees at the same time, we have this one-time, import data option available where you can see the scheduled earnings, add travel allowances, recurring deduction details, import file. So you can download an import file, add the data in it, and upload the file into the system to update it for multiple employees at once. All right. And now let me show you how to add the one-time earnings. Let's say in a particular month, you will be adding certain components, right? The things which we discussed, like bonus, like a joining bonus to be added, or for example, any fine to be deducted. So that you can add it directly by going into the payroll draft. You will see this import option. So when you click on this import, you'll find one-time earnings and deduction file. Here also, we will give you sample files to download. So you can download a sample file and you can add the data in it. So you can bring in multiple employees details at the same time. So for example, if it is a bonus to be added for multiple employees, so you can add the employee numbers, or if it is commission amount to be added, you can add the required component name, add the amount towards it. Or if it is a deduction, fine deduction, let's say, so you can, use that component name, and you can add how much amount to be deducted from the employee for this particular month payroll. And then you can save this file, and you can use this import option here to bring in one-time earnings and deductions for multiple employees at the same time. So this is how we can manage one-time earnings and deductions in Zoho Payroll. And next, moving on to the activity logs and payroll history. So any payroll that you process, you can find that details in payroll history tab here. So when you click on it, you will see the completed payroll. So you'll click on that payroll name, and you will be able to see the details of the completed payroll. And if you'd like to export the complete data, we have payroll data option here. Or in cases if you want to compare, this month payroll with the previous month payroll, you can make use of the comparison report. So we do have component wise and employee wise comparison reports, which you can make use of. So let me open a comparison report. This is a component wise comparison report. So you can see the current month and the previous month, the total components and what are the differences. Okay. And regarding the activity logs, we offer you that under the report section. So this will give you the details of all the users' activities in the organization. For example, you have 2-3 users, payroll users will be creating the payroll or adding the employee details and all. So you'd like to know who has done the changes. So in that case, you can make use of this activity logs, wherein you can customize it as well. And you can also select the modules and see the activity logs in that particular module. And this can be exported as well. All right. And to add the users and roles, we have the settings users and roles section. Since you are Zoho One, you might be using it at the central Zoho One level. So from there you can assign whichever users to be assigned to what roles in Zoho Payroll. All right. And their details in payroll can be viewed in this activity log section under the reports module. And now let's speak about the integration part. So we offer integration with Zoho People, Zoho Books, and Zoho Expense. So Zoho People is our HRMS application. Since you all are Zoho One customers, you already know, most of these applications. So if you are already using Zoho People, the employees there can be easily synced to Zoho Payroll, the master details, so that you need not add them once again in the payroll application. Likewise, the attendance data for each month will be calculated in Zoho People, and that data can be pushed to payroll, so that if there are any unpaid days in a month, so that will get deducted from their actual payable days and salary will be calculated accordingly. So in Zoho People, to set up the integration, you'll be going to the settings, marketplace, Zoho, and you will see the Zoho Payroll section where you will get a connect organization. So if you're connecting for the first time, if you are the super admin in Zoho People and the admin in Zoho Payroll, you will get the option to choose the payroll organization and connect it. So once it is connected, you can choose a configurations, that is from what locations and what are the employee types that need to be synced to payroll, so that you will have a condition based sync from your end, so that not all the employees will be synced, only these condition matching employees will be synced, so that you will have the control of the sync. And then if there are any non-users, that is employee profiles in Zoho People, and you need to push their data also into Zoho Payroll, you can include non-users as well. And once it is done, you can enable the sync my employee database option, and the employees matching these criteria, their master details will be synced from Zoho People to payroll. So master details, I mean their basic, personal, and payment information. So you can see a mapping section here. So once you have enabled the integration, you can see this mapping section. So you can see the Zoho Payroll fields and Zoho People fields, and how it is mapped. Okay. And if any data is not syncing, there are chances that you might not have mapped that field. If it is a custom field in Zoho People that you have created, it might not be synced automatically. But the rest of the fields like date of birth field, the first name and all, so that will get auto synced. But the custom fields that you create here in People has to be mapped under this field mapping section. So the data from Zoho People will flow into Zoho Payroll. And custom fields you would be creating mainly for example, date of confirmation and contract type, and the employment type, whether it is probation or permanent. And personal details, you will be adding ICAMA or national ID as a custom field in Zoho People. And also nationality details, you can directly sync from Zoho People to payroll. But for that, just for your better understanding and to avoid the errors, so we would suggest using the single line field instead of the custom forms in the custom country field available in Zoho People. So when you go to the settings and you'll go to the employee information and you'll have the form section, right? So there by default, you will have a country field. So this country field will have all caps letters in it. But in Zoho Payroll right now, we are accepting only the first letters in caps. So in that case, what I would suggest is you can use a single line field and you can add the nationality of the employees in Zoho People. So the nationality details can also be synced from Zoho People to payroll. So if the customers who are using Zoho Payroll before, they might know that previously we don't have this sync, but we have brought the sync now to ease the onboarding process, to bring in all the master details from Zoho people to payroll itself. So just that you have to keep in mind, use a single line field instead of the country field. And also we are analyzing it to use the country field also, but for now we would highly recommend to use a single line field here. And other custom fields include date of confirmation, contract type, and the bank details also. You can create custom fields in Zoho people, and you can get the information from the employees, and those also will be synced to Zoho Payroll, and you can map them here. So once this is done, all the details will be synced, and you'll be able to add the salary details of all the employees using the import file that is available in Zoho Payroll. And after that is done, the profile will be completed for the employee, and you'll be ready to process your first payroll. And next integration is about Zoho Books for accounting purpose. So all the payroll transactions will be posted into your Zoho Books account, so that you can track all the payroll expenses, and your net profit will be accurate. So this is the edit section here. And the integration between Zoho Payroll and Zoho Books is from the backend. So it will be automatically integrated if you have both accounts. And just to ensure that you need to have the same organization ID in Zoho Payroll and Zoho Books for the integration to happen. And then you'll have journal posting preferences here, whether to post journals on cash basis, that is on payday, or on accrual basis, which is on pay period end date, and whether to post a journal on draft status or published status, and to which bank account the entries, the salary record payment entries has to be posted, you can choose. And then comes the mapping of accounts. So you can choose the pay types here. So you can see the pay types here that is available in Zoho Payroll, and you can map it to the corresponding debit and credit accounts in Zoho Books. So towards that account, the entries will be posted. So to post the entries, you will be processing a payroll. Let's say you are submitting and approving a payroll, so you'll get this option, post journal entries. So once you click on it and then approve the payroll, the journal entries will be posted into your Zoho Books account. So for your reference, let me go to Zoho Books. So you can go to the manual journal section, and you can see the journal that get posted from the Zoho Payroll application. And also in the chart of accounts, you can see the corresponding accounts. For example, I've chosen earnings to be posted in salary and employee wages. So you can see the entries from payroll getting posted in Zoho Books. And also in the reports, you will see the entries. For example, if you take the profit and loss, you will see the report, salary and employee wages, that gets also added in this report. And other reports also, you will see the entries from Zoho Payroll. So this is how the integration works. And under the banking module, so you can go to the banking module section, select the bank account, and you can see the salary record payments that got posted from Zoho Payroll to Zoho Books, so that if you have integrated your bank account, or you can import statements, you can easily match them and reconcile it. So this is the benefit of Zoho Payroll and Zoho Books integration. And then last integration we have is with the Zoho Expense, which is our travel and expense reimbursement platform. So any reimbursements you would like to pay it along with their salary, you can push it to payroll after you approve it. So that in payroll, when you process the payroll and it is in draft status, you will get an option under the pending task. You are ready to associate business expense reimbursements. So when you click view and apply, it will show you the expenses that need to be added along with their payroll. And you click on apply reimbursement, it will get added along with their salary under the heading business expense reimbursements. So by this way, you can pay all the approved reimbursements along with their payroll itself, and it will be reflected in their pay slips. So this is the integration that we have right now with other Zoho products. And to move forward, we have brought in certain advanced features. So that is custom approvals module and automation module. So approvals is where you can create multi-level approvals, and automation module is where you can create workflow rules. For example, if certain action is triggered, an email alert to be sent out to the admins or the users of the payroll organization, or let's say a custom function to be executed if particular action is triggered. So in that case, you can first add rules, workflow rules, and in which module it should work, and what is the trigger, and what action to be done once that trigger is done. So that is for example, email alerts to be sent out, or an in-app notification to be shown, or if you have any integration with third-party softwares that you have done with a payroll. So whether to push some data into it or to execute a custom function, so you can define it. So system will do that action. And for example, here I've created an email alert whenever there is any edits in the payroll. So whenever if any user changes any values or add a reversal of LOPs or add additional components, I will get a notification in the email that the payroll has been edited. So for that, I can create a template, email alert template, and keep, or I can have an in-app notification shown in the application also. And regarding the custom function, which I told you, right? Let's say if you're using Zoho People and you are maintaining a custom form for OT there with multiple OT rates, and you need to sync that to payroll. So in that case, we can write a custom function here so that there will be a button provided to you in the payroll page. Once you click on that button, the OT hours from there will be synced to the corresponding OT components that you have created in payroll. And based on the formula that you have set, system will do the calculation for you. So these are the advanced functions that we have brought in using the automation module. And next, we have the workflow logs, so that you can see the details logs of the workflow that has been executed, and you can also schedule the action to be taken. Let's say after certain once this date range is arrived, the actions to be taken. So these kind of advanced automation and customization you will be able to do using this module. So with this, I've covered the most of the use cases for planned for today's session.